This is a brief explanation of the Michigan High School Volleyball scoring sheet. I am a freshman and middle school coach, so I do not complete this nearly as much as a varsity official sheet would be. But this will help you explain the basics of this score sheet. Always make sure you're filling out the top level of this form, so we know the date, the home, and the visitor, and most importantly, the set number. Start time, end time doesn't really matter for our purposes. You label the teams here, and this is always based on how they're facing on the court. So the blue team would be left of the net, and the gold team would be right of the net. And that's determined by the coin flip. Also determined by the coin flip is this first serve box. Always make sure that that's get checked so that there's no confusion as the match progresses. So in this case, the blue team earned the serve, and so we check it on their side. Each coach is responsible to give you and the referee a lineup, and this is based on their very first server, and they have to serve in this order unless they make any rotations, any substitutions. So the very first server for the blue team will be number 2. She should be the one at the back of the line with the ball in her hand ready to serve. This lineup is the gold team's lineup. So when blue loses their turn, you can quickly see who the next server will be on their side. So the blue team serves the ball, and blue number 2 she didn't start out very well. She must be nervous. So she actually missed the ball and lost the point. So we record that as a miss, and the very first thing we really should do is check the score. This column, these 2 columns here, are very important because they must match up with what's on the scoreboard. So as you check this, it's a good idea to always talk to the scoreboard and say 0, 1, always giving left side versus right side first so that they can keep it straight. So you would say 0, 1, you record that number 2 missed, and you would give the first server the first point, even though she didn't earn it yet. So how we signify that is we circle it. And that shows the ref that server 1 got the first point of the game, but it was earned on loss of rally or a side out. So that's the first point. Now, player number 1 for the blue team, or for the gold team, serves a great serve. They earn the point. So we record the point number 2 right there. And again, the first thing you should do is check that. Obviously, I'm not good at that. So player number 1 also comes up. She serves another great serve. This time it's an ace. So we're going to record 3, 0, verify it for the scoreboard, and then record the point. We'll just keep adding those points up as long as they keep earning them. Okay, so this server gets a little nervous and she misses the ball. We lose the point. First thing, give the team points. So now you say it's 1, 3. You record on this side of the sheet that it was a loss of rally. And you record over here that the very first point earned was earned on this number 4's service rotation. But it was earned on a side out. So you circle it. Now number 4 comes to the line and she serves. They win the point, so they get a second point. 2, 2, 3 to the scorekeeper, and you see it's 2 to 3. So number 4 serves again. She gets another point. 3. Now you say 3, 3. Okay, great. Server number 4 also serves again. She gets another point. 4, 4, 3. This coach gets a little nervous, doesn't like that she served 3 straight points, so she calls a timeout. So whoever side you call a timeout on, you see there's 2 squares for each side. So since the gold team scored the timeout, you write down the score at the timeout, which was 4-3, and you actually write timeout right there, right on that line, just so they know timeout. And you can see this down here, T for timeout, and then TX, which means timeout opponent. Timeout's over. Number 4 comes to the line. That timeout was successful because she missed the serve. So we lose the rally, score the point for gold. Now we say 4-4 to the scoreboard. And number 3 is the first server onside out. However, you notice, wait a minute, number 3 isn't the one with the ball, and she served it, and they're playing the point. But number 3 clearly should have been the next server. They must have gotten out of rotation. At this point, you get the referee's attention by waving at him, because that is a dead point. That point cannot be earned. So when you get the ref's attention, he'll come over, or you send someone over to him and say, their next server should have been number 3. It was number whatever. And the referee will say, okay, well, they've lost that point, and it's a point awarded for the blue team. So now the score is 5-4. Lost the point because they put the wrong server in. And this girl should be serving, and it's the 5th point earned not because they earned because of loss of rally. And so now you can see that it's 5-4, which also backs up with 5-4 here. So number 6 serves, and she gets a point. So it's 6-4, 6. She misses her serve. So we record the loss of rally, lost the point, and give the point to their next server. Very good, right? Now we're going to make, because we've rotated, this coach has a lot of players and they want to make a substitution. So number 5 is actually coming out, and they're going to put in number 2. So that's all you do. So now you see that it should be number 2 serving this next point. And number 2 will be the server and will be in the rotation until she gets subbed again, at which point you would just scratch her out and write the new number. It's important to do this because 2 can only substitute for the same position. Unless they're a libero, they cannot sub in for anyone else within this game. So number 2 serves, she gets the point. It's 6-6. She gets another point, 7-6, and on it goes. I think this shows you everything, including substitutions, how to score points. I'll check the subs off at the bottom. If you look at this form, it's not as scary as you think. Pay attention to the keys at the bottom. And the most important thing you can do of anything, especially at middle school ball, is to make sure that this column always is accurate. If this column is accurate and you get messed up in all of the rest of this, it's not as big of a deal. Make sure the score is correct first.